I want to get you the very latest on a story that we first brought you weeks ago. It made national headlines at the time. A jury in Alaska this week convicted a mother of 6 of misdemeanor child abuse for punishing her son with hot sauce and cold showers. As CBS News National correspondent Ben Tracy reports, authorities stepped in after she appeared on national TV.
What happens when you lie to me? You get hot sauce.
In this disturbing video, 36-year-old Jessica Beagley can be seen punishing her son for lying.
Open.
As she pours hot sauce in his mouth.
Close your mouth.
And forces him to take a cold shower.
Get undressed right now.
The 7-year-old, adopted from Russia, can be heard screaming in the video, shot by an older sister.
You are to do what you are told.
Mommy confessions.
After Beagley appeared on the Dr. Phil show last November,
I feel out of control.
the clip went viral and viewers contacted authorities in Anchorage who investigated and charged her with child abuse.
We, the jury, find the defendant, Jessica Beagley, guilty.
The prosecution contends Beagley made the tape to get on the Dr. Phil show. She had previously sent videos of her yelling at her children, but producers allegedly told her they needed to see her punishing her son.
The act of videotaping yourself punishing your child in order to try to convince a show to let you on is the abuse.
Beagley's defense attorney says she is a loving mother who made the video in a desperate attempt to get help with her son. He says the child abuse ordinance is unclear about acceptable punishments.
I think that anytime you have a law where you're going to criminalize behavior, the law should reflect and give you strong guidance as to what is acceptable or not acceptable.
Beagley will be sentenced Monday and could face up to 1 year in jail, a $10,000 fine, and up to 10 years of probation. According to her attorney, local children's services have found no reason to remove the children from her home. Ben Tracy, CBS News, Los Angeles.
Well, joining us now is CBS News legal analyst Lisa Bloom. Lisa, good morning. I think some people, when they see video like that, they probably say to themselves, she's lucky she only got convicted with a misdemeanor. But what did the jury exactly find here?
Well, the law required the jury to find that her behavior was either cruelty or torture, and that's what the jury found. They convicted her of 1 misdemeanor count of child abuse. And I think taken together, what the jury is saying is that the hot sauce, the cold shower, and probably most importantly, the act of videotaping the punishment, all of that taken together added up to cruelty and therefore child abuse.
How much do you think the video played a role in this? It's one thing to hear it. It's one thing, I guess, to have testimony under oath, but to see it on video, to see this type of treatment, and then have one of your kids taping it.
Right. I think that's what pushed this case to over the line. A lot of people have likened the hot sauce to washing a child's mouth out with soap. But what pushed this over the line was the videotaping. This clip is now online. It will follow this little 7-year-old boy the rest of his life. And the prosecutor argued that she did this so that she could be on television, so that she could be a TV star. That made it especially cruel, I think, in the eyes of these jurors.
It does sound a little ridiculous that you would go to these lengths just to get yourself on, the Dr. Phil show. Will that have any effect in the sentencing that's coming up on Monday?
Oh, I think it will. She's looking at 1 year behind bars, a $10,000 fine. Although I have to tell you, in my experience in these kinds of cases, typically a first offender will not get any time. Probably she'll get ordered into parenting classes, anger management, maybe a nominal amount of time behind bars.
Is the Dr. Phil show liable for encouraging this behavior?
You know, a lot of people have asked that question. I don't see that here. This all took place in her home in Alaska. There was no producer or representative of the show present. It was her own daughter who had the video camera. The show simply asked her to show her punishing her child. They didn't give her any guidance, encouragement, or direction as to what to do. So I don't see any liability on the part of the show.
Doesn't that sound a little odd, though, that a producer would ask you for video of you punishing your child?
Well, you know, this is the age that we live in now. People take a video camera and they show themselves doing all kinds of things. Yeah. But the show would have to encourage her to commit a crime for them to have any liability, and I just don't see that here.
And you mentioned the whole washing your mouth out with soap analogy before. Is this going to cause parents to maybe think twice about even doing something like that if they're trying to discipline their child?
Well, you know, Chris, I think it should, because our standards are evolving, and there's no long-term physical damage to this child, but what we're talking about is psychological cruelty, and this jury found that it was child abuse. I think the next case could be a washing the mouth out with soap type of case. I think parents should consider that very seriously.
All right, Lisa, thanks so much. Good to talk with you here this morning.
Thanks. You as well, Chris.
All righty.